Behind every successful musician are many experiences that shaped who they are. Through personal journeys that include painful hardships and great achievements, musicians have a much deeper story to tell. Their music is one way to tell that story.
We sat down with the creative director of an ensemble who is passionate about integrating Mediterranean and Persian music through musical composition.
My name is Kiya Tabassian, and I am simply a musician, a passionate musician, and I am also a composer. I compose music. I like to imagine different projects, and I created this ensemble called Constantinople, with which I can create very different, various and crazy and passionate projects.
Kiya has an incredibly successful career in Canada. Constantinople has toured the world, released 20 albums over the past 2 decades, and is proud to call Montreal home. But Canada is not Kiya's country of birth.
I was born in Iran, in Tehran, the capital city of Iran, and I grew up there till age of 14, so all my childhood till early teenager age. And I started playing this instrument, the sitar, when I was almost 12, end of 11. I was learning very quickly the instrument. When I was 13, I formed a kind of a music ensemble in the school, for which I composed the music, and which became quite famous in that time in Iran, and as a young youth music ensemble, Persian music ensemble. In Iran at that time, the music was almost forbidden. Wow. At the same time, I was able to do music. It was officially somehow forbidden. So the vice director of the school became a good friend of mine. He knew that he was also an artist. He was a poet. So we collaborated together, and the songs that I composed was with his poems. So he became really my ally. I have to say that during that time, still, it was the country Iran was under war. Actually, during the whole my childhood, I grew up during the war between Iran and Iraq. I was in the middle of the war too. I mean, every 2 days we had these attacks in the city, and bombing things and rockets coming into the city, and it was a horrible situation for sure, as you can imagine, a war, in a quite serious war. But music for me, I think it was moral support, and it became a beautiful zone where I can just forget about this war and just focus on the beauty and the fact that we did this ensemble, and so many kids were also passionate to, when you are 13, 14 years old, it's so nice to be in a group and doing music together. So we created that spirit, even during that ugly war period in Tehran.
As one could imagine, moving to a new country as a teenager is not easy. Kiya had many things to say on the whole experience.
Well, the process was a bit long because of that war. Usually, it takes 1 year, 1.5 years to do all papers and things. But in our case, it took almost 4 years. My parents, they sold what we had to sell in the country, to move to a new country, to start a new life. We came to Montreal through Paris, and then we arrived to Montreal 20th of September 1990. We had a very, very horrible welcome in Montreal. We knew no one in Montreal. Canada was one of those countries in that time was welcoming immigrants. So we arrived here late night, and we took the bus from airport to the central station here in downtown. Just taking all our luggages, someone stole my father's bag, with all the documents and all the money and everything. So this was our first minute in Montreal. So it became quite a nightmare at the beginning. With the music, I think the music helped us a lot also. At the beginning, there wasn't any sitar teacher for me. So I went to the school, a music school where I started to learn violin. The music always was there as a best friend to support passing through some difficult moments, but also to connect with others. I think that has always been a kind of a leitmotif in my life.
For Kiya, Canada always had many things to offer in terms of his personal and musical career.
We always felt that Canadian people helped us a lot, and Canadian people were always so open, so much welcoming people, and we always felt so welcomed here. We never felt as a stranger growing up here. Also, the fact that we started to learn new languages. I think in a young age, when you learn new languages, I think it made ourselves very in need to communicate with others. And I think because I need this in my daily life, to communicate with others, knowing others, and to get in touch and dialogue with others. And that's what I'm doing with my music always, you know. So these are all part of, for me, music making is reflecting your own story and your own background, your own memories, and your own life experience. But when it comes to really create something, it's really something that is inside yourself that comes out.
What an emotional journey. Before he left, we asked Kiya what he would tell his younger self.
I think the music could be the best and closer friend of anyone, because it cannot die. It will die when you die. So it's always there. So it cannot leave you, and it will support in any emotion, in any circumstances. The music can just be the best companion. So yeah, I would say this again to an 11 years old Kiya, that continue, and the music will be always with you somehow.
Talking with Kiya was incredible. His energy was lovely, and I hope that our listeners can hear the passion in his answers, because I can speak for all of us when I say that we felt it. Everything he talked about was so moving.
Yeah, hearing someone talk about music with so much passion reminds me why I do what I do. Kiya's story will be an inspiration to all musicians. I know it was for me. Having the opportunity to step into Kiya's workplace in snowy Montreal and be welcomed with open arms felt so empowering.
Kiya invited us to sit down with him on his carpet, as if we were his own students. Chloe, Elena, and I were able to capture a personal story that he not only shared with us, but now has shared with you.
If you want to experience what we did, Kiya and his ensemble Constantinople will be playing live in Sackville this fall for the Sackville Festival of Early Music.
This audio documentary was created by Chloe Millet, Kayla Treitz, and Elena Grandi, students at Mount Allison University. It was part of a first-year class called Music, Culture, and Context, taught by Dr. Linda Pearse. Audio production and training by Matt Tunnacliffe.
You can find more documentaries in this series at mta.ca/music and follow the links under Student Opportunities. Support for this project came from CEWIL and Mount Allison. Thanks for listening.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much. That was great.